So the first section is the one we were able to talk about yesterday. I think that is the one that is talking in the AL-MURABIT. So fi qira'atil kafi wal finjan wa tanjim. So when somebody claimed the knowledge of unseen by palmistry, wal finjan, and the reading of tea leaf, wa tanjim, and astrology. So this is some of the aqwal or af'al. So this aspect of shirk, it actually combines both the aqwal and af'al. It has speech and it has action. And like we mentioned yesterday, there are actually actions and speech or statement that negate Tawheed, that nullify Tawheed. So it is not actually the one that reduces Tawheed. Like it is mentioned, they want to tell us about two things actually. The first one is ma tunafi Tawheed wa ma tunkisu Tawheed. What negates or nullifies Tawheed and what reduces Tawheed. So the one that negate Tawheed are actually the Shirkul Akbar or Kufurul Akbar. So why the one that reduces are what? Shirkul Asghar. So the one that is minor shirk. So the first one that was mentioned yesterday, which we started yesterday, are the one that talk about people that claim the knowledge of unseen by Qira'atul Kaf, by reading of Palm, wa Al-Finjan, wa Tanjim. So three are mentioned here. And like we mentioned yesterday, we have a countable number of divination. So yesterday we mentioned actually that this science is actually an organized knowledge, and there are a lot of tools that are used in the divination. So when we say divination, that is an attempt to foretell or an attempt to delve into the future, to know about the future. So one of them which we actually mentioned yesterday, and the first one is the Qira'atul Kaf, that is reading of palm, and it's also called palmistry. So they call it graphology. And not only that, there are also another aspect of the definition that is called using of handwriting. So they can also use your handwriting to predict your future or to foretell your future. This is another form of what? Another form of shirk or another form of definition. Apart from this, we also have al-finjan. Finjan actually means teacup. But the reason why they mention finjan here is because it is the tea. They call it reading of tea leaf. And even the reading of tea leaf is not the leaf that is read, but the cup where the tea is what is put. And the procedure is such that when they want to read the tea, or they want to read the tea leaf, in order to predict the future or to tell about somebody's future, so what they do is that they get tea powder from the tea leaf, and they pour it in a cup. And it will be covered with water. There are special cup, not any cup, though they may use any cup. And when they put it in this cup, they will drink the water to a certain level. And when this is done, the cup of the tea will be placed in the left hand of the person for whom the future is about to be foretold, or whose future is going to be foretold. And when it is placed in his left hand, he will be asked to swallow the cup in an anti-clockwise manner 3 times, something of this nature. And while he is doing that, he will be asked to make an intention of what he wants the tea to read. That I want to know this about my future. I want to know whether my prospective wife or spouse, we are going to be compatible or not. You can imagine. So this is one of, like we mentioned yesterday, that sometimes we allow the devil or the shaitan to play on our intelligence. It makes us to appear as if we don't get sense. There's somebody that told me about sins of this nature. It was not actually tea they used. That 2 people met and they tend to marry each other, and they go to the relatives or the family of the wife to be, and they said in their own family they have a rites that they normally perform. And such the rites is that they will ask oracle or whatever method they use. In different places they call it different name. So in some places in down southwest they call it they call it Isabi or something like that. So we know different name people call it. And when they do this, they said they are not compatible. And when they said they are not compatible, in fact, there's somebody that told me another one. So they said they are not compatible, this same person. And this person, the reason why they say they are not compatible is because it's not from their town. Because they believe that people from their town is the person that deserves to marry their daughter. And when the same person, when another person from another town, I'm mixing the story up actually, but the story is such that the same person that they initially said they are not compatible, when the person now have what it means or what it takes to have a wife or what convinces the parents, now they become compatible. So now they become what? Compatible. Or sometimes the parents themselves, they don't actually want the marriage because they believe maybe the person doesn't have the quality they want in their in-law. So they just say they want to consult some sort of oracle or whatever, and from there they will declare the marriage that they are not compatible. All these are actually a way of declaring our ignorance and inferiority. And this is actually a great form of shirk. I can take somebody out of Islam completely. So like we are talking about the tea reading, so the person will have intention of what he want to read about the tea. So when he move it in a local manner, which is some of the rites they perform, then we turn the tea upside down. It will be what? It will be inverted. And from there they will see some structure and some people who are well versed in that area, they will read it and they will tell him, this thing you want to do, this is what is going to happen. And like we mentioned yesterday, wallahi, nobody knows the knowledge of unseen. Nobody knows what will happen in the future. Not even in the next seconds. Nobody knows it except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah give the knowledge of some of the unseen to some of his prophets and messengers. Like Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he has told us about many things that will happen in the future. It is not actually his own knowledge, but he has been told by Allah. And there are some instances that he was shown, like we mentioned yesterday, that knowledge about unseen can be acquired, or somebody can have knowledge about it in two ways. Either by direct experience, that Allah will make you to see what is going to happen, not that you are told. You know, there is a difference between experiencing directly, either seeing it, hearing it directly, and you are told that this kind of thing is going to happen. For us, we are told that on the day of Qiyamah or in the grave, these are the things that will happen, isn't it? So this is by information. So it's not by that. But for the prophets and messenger of Allah, there are instances Allah will make them to have direct experience. Like Prophet Muhammad, he has traveled to the world, to the heaven, and Allah made him to observe and to see and to have knowledge about many of the things that will happen on the day of Qiyamah. So he have direct experience about them. So some of the prophets and messengers of Allah, Allah give them the knowledge of sin. Apart from these instances, nobody have the knowledge of sin. Nobody. And like I mentioned, they can also use your handwriting. So there are some people who from your handwriting they can predict your future. They will study the way you write your handwriting, and from there they will say this is what is going to happen to your future, or this is the type of future you have, or this is the type of problem you are going to encounter, or a particular problem is coming. All these are actually an attempt to tell about the future or to mention unseen. And also we mentioned numerology. This is another form of definition they also use. Numerology is use of number. So they use number. There are certain number that some bad meaning has been attached to it, like number 13. That if you see 13, or if 13 happen to you, or if 13 occur in some of things that is related to you, that is a sign of disaster that is going to happen in future. And Quran in one very beautiful way nullified or disputed this particular myth of theirs. You see, number 13, it has been used it has been superstitiously used to mean sign of danger. 13. But if you see the way Quran uses it, it has been used in the way that it will be what it will be, and it's supposed to be an optimistic number. If you look at most of the, like Allah mentioned in Surah Al-Imran. So Allah mentioned, that is Quran chapter 3, verse 13. Allah said, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ آيَةٌ فِي فِئَةَيْنِ الْتَقَتَا فِئَةٌ تُقَاتِلُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَأُخْرَى كَافِرَةٌ يَرَوْنَهُمْ مِثْلَيْهِمْ رَأْيَ الْعَيْنِ وَاللَّهُ يُؤَيِّدُ بِنَصْرِهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. So this is verse 13. And this verse 13 is actually talking or is informing the Muslim about the victory they are going to have in what? In future. And there are many also instances where number 30 actually is a promising number, or is promising people about good news of things that will happen to them in the future. Unlike the bad superstition they hold against the number. So, and this is another area of superstition, or another area of tatoju. And that is when you attach some meaning to some things, and that is called omen actually. So there are some things that people say, if you see black bird, or if you see black cat, or if you see black, or if you are walking and you hit your feet against a stone, it means something dangerous is going to happen. All these are wrong in Islam. In fact, as Muslim, the opposite of this is what Islam wants from us. Islam does not want us to have what is called pessimism, tashahum. So tashahum is absolutely wrong in Islam. Like I said, I am optimistic. You see, optimism, that is tashahum and tatoyur, they are closely related. Tatoyur is when you give meaning to some signs or to some objects. That is superstition. That when you see this will happen. Like in those days, the Arab, they used to give bad meaning to the month of Safar. They used to believe that the second month of Islamic calendar, it has what? It has bad omen. So, but what tashahum is when you just have feeling that bad thing is going to happen without any sign. So they are the same thing. Like if somebody is having negative feelings about the future, about himself, about any other thing, it's also likely going to fall into what? Into shirk. Because it will get to a time when you will start to believe that you're feeling. I believe my feeling. I know they doubt my feeling. Anytime I feel that this thing will happen, it will surely happen. In other words, we are telling us your feeling is telling you about the future. It's telling us about what? About ghaib. So this is another condemned practice. And Islam wants us to do direct opposite. That you should always hope for good. And wallahi, like Allah, Prophet mentioned one of the hadiths, Allah said, Anna inda dhanni abdi should be. So whatever dhannu you have with Allah, that is the way Allah will handle you. You see, Allah does not have limitation. Allah does not have limits. If you believe Allah is going to bless you, that is a sign that Allah will bless you. If you believe Allah is going to assist you, sure, again, Allah is going to assist you. You see, anything that Allah will not do to you, or Allah will not do for you, you will not have that assumption, or you will not have that feeling. So Islam also condemns bad feelings, or negative feeling, or pessimism, or to have negative feeling about things, either by yourself, or about any other thing. It is also a form of what? A form of superstition. It is highly condemned. So I'm being informed that our time is actually up. We start very late, and it was due to the preparation for the program we are going to do tomorrow, like I mentioned earlier on. So we actually apologize for that. Inshallah, we believe by next week there will be no such kind of delay. May Allah forgive us for whatever we made mistake, and may Allah accept whatever we have done as an act of ibadah. So Allahumma bihamdik, inshallah la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah Muhammad bin Abdullah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsan ila yawmiddin. Amma ba'd. Without wasting much of our time, we'd like to review, ask questions. If you have questions, you can ask questions. The staff can satisfy your question, and we can call it a day.
No. My question is that as you make it represented that if there is someone is thinking something and that particular thing or feel that that particular person is having come true, that the person will say, if I've been thinking of it sometimes. What of if the person is thinking into way around? That okay, if this one does not will not happen, this one will happen. Many people should say that okay, I've planned my own that if this one will not happen, if this one happen or this one did not happen, this one will happen. What of that one too?
Well, like I said, Atashahum or Al-Fawzan, like they call it, is strongly condemned by Prophet Muhammad in a number of his hadith. And that is for you to have a negative feeling about anything, negatively. And even when bad things happen to you, so Islam wants you to have good assumption about that thing that is for good. because Allah loved me, that's why these things happened to me. Look at the example of the Sahaba when they were invaded during the Surah Al-Azab. Allah mentioned Surah Al-Azab. Allah said, فَلَمَّا رَوْحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الْعَذَابَ قَالُوا هَذَا مَا وَعَدَنَا اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ وَصَدَقَ اللَّهُ. So they said this is what Allah and His Messenger has promised us, and it is the truth. And look at what happened to them. Was it a good news? So they were happy. Allah said, وَمَزَادَهُمْ إِلَّا. So it increased their faith. And this is what is expected of Muslims. Like also at this one, he said, أَجَبَ لِأَمْرِ الْمُؤْمِنِ إِنَّ أَمْرَهُ كُلَّهُ خَيْرٌ. So when asabatu saraw shakara fakana, when asabatu daraw sabara fakana. So you see, that is what differentiates a mu'min, a Muslim, from a what? From a non-Muslim, or from somebody with weak iman. Because even when he has problem, even when there is when there is a problem coming, look at Prophet Musa when he was being pursued by Fir'aun and his soldier. The Banu Israel, who Prophet Musa was leading, they said, Inna lamudrakun. So that is, they have lost hope. That is bad feeling. That is negative feeling. What did Prophet Musa say? Allah inna ma'iya rabbi. Didn't Allah supported him? That is ma'iya of Allah. So look at Prophet Muhammad. Look at Prophet Ibrahim. So there was nothing on earth of it that was in support of him. Nothing on earth of it except Allah, and who Allah sent among the what? Among the angels. Even when the angel came that they want to assist him, he said, no, I want help from Allah directly. So he puts his trust in Allah. He has positive feeling, he has hope. He said, Hasbi Allahu wa ni'mal wakil. What did Allah say? Kulna ya naru kuni. So look at Allah. So a Muslim must always have good feelings, no matter what. Even when something you don't like happen, or it's eminent that is going to happen. Like a good Muslim doesn't say, like I saw problem now, I said this problem must consume me. No, that's not a good Muslim. So Allah will assist me no matter what. That's how you are supposed to feel. And that is part of Iman. And no matter what happen, even when the thing happen, you will still have positive feeling, not negative feeling, or positive assumption about Allah and what have happened, that it is for good. Like we mentioned. In fact, when Allah said, Kulla yusibana illa ma. Why not Kitabu Tawheed? Do you know the meaning of lana? That lam, they call it lam temlik. Lam temlik means for benefits of what? To benefits, to give us good thing. Lam yusibana, we call it musiba, isn't it? But the musiba is Kitabu Tawheed what? Lana. Laysa alayna. So that is what Allah wants to give us as benefit, as advantage, as good. And for you see it as what? Evil, bad, negative. So this is Muslim. So for one Muslim on the earth of it, nothing happens to you from Allah except good, even when you see it as negative. So it's not actually good to have to say maybe it will come like this, not come like this. And like we mentioned, it may actually open the door of Sheikh, open the door of somebody trying to claim. You know, Shaitan is very smart. He sees us. Not only he sees us, he has ability to perceive, to smell our thoughts. Like there's one hadith of Prophet Muhammad that Prophet Shaitan, he can smell our thoughts. Like if you don't talk, he has ability to smell. And if you see that you have Iman, Tawheed in your, so we create problem for you in your Tawheed, in your mind, in your Iman, in the way you think best for you. You think maybe for you to indirectly claim ilm, that I trust my instinct. Like that thing must happen. The way I'm feeling is like it will happen. So before you know it, you don't claim ilm. My life, you'll be expecting this is what is going to happen based on your feeling or your instinct, like you claim. When it doesn't happen, you started to lie because you want to. But if you have left everything to Allah, that I don't know. Nobody have the knowledge of God. Even Prophet doesn't claim God, except what Allah have revealed to him. Any human being to counter any part of the qadar of Allah. Like Allah asked Prophet Muhammad to mention, it is the verse of the Quran, that I do not hold the door of goodness to myself or any evil. So nobody has control over what will happen to him. And even when you have seen something, and most of the things that Allah shows, that sometimes Allah shows some of His prophets or messenger what is going to happen to them. Sometimes Allah tell them, sometimes Allah show them. So, and like they are not like women, like not like us. They submit to the Qadar of Allah completely. They submit. They know this is what Allah wants. I don't know whether you understand. And nobody have any counter. You cannot do anything counter. So the only thing that can counter it is dua. The only thing that can counter anything negative you don't want is dua. So dua has ability to change part of Qadar. And even that ability to change Qadar is still part of Qadar. So because some people sometimes mix it, they mix it up that you say Qadar doesn't change. How come you are saying prayer can say it is still part of the Qadar? Like Umar said, that we are running from Qadar of Allah to another Qadar of Allah. I hope you understand. Like Allah says, Yamhu Allahu man yasha wa yuthbit wa indahu. So part of the one Allah erased maybe out of prayer or out of some good deed, but it is already also in the Qadar that you will do this and this will be changed or this will be removed. So, but there's something that can counter the Qadar of Allah except Allah Himself and whatever Allah wants to use to counter. No.
In the situation of the question, we'll call it a day and continue by next week, inshallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to guide us and make us stay steadfast in the cause of